Hey there, everyone. Here with a Marantz 2226B that a customer dropped off. I know some people might be looking for the Model 22, but that's my own, so that project's been put aside because I have a few things in for customers. I need to work on those first. So came in, he said it was working fine, moved it, and then it wasn't working right. So let me get everything set up and we'll do our first testing. So I just kind of wanted to give you a quick look at the 2226 Bravo before we start in. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, hopefully everyone can see, have the unit. The variac is plugged into an isolation transformer down below. The dim bulb tester is plugged into the variac, or into the variac. I have a meter here so I can see amps and stuff. But let's see if our dim bulb goes bright or if it comes on and goes back dim. All right, so we know there's no short, so we're pretty safe on doing stuff. A few lights light up. I have not heard a relay click though. Yeah, let's try that one more time and see if we hear a relay. Yep, I don't hear the relay. Again, it might be because the dim bulb, what do I have in there? I have a 75 watt, which should allow enough current to flow through and go through. But I'm going to hook it up straight into the isolation and we'll see what's going on. Here's the inside, and there is no relay because this is a direct coupled amplifier. So that's why I didn't hear a click. So it could be working somewhat. We'll hook up the scope and everything and see, but I want to give you a quick look at the inside. I'll show you here. The power supply is mostly this section right here, but it's a pain to get to. I'm going to show you why. Just a second. This is why. They mounted the capacitors, the filter caps, right here. And it's a real pain to get the back two screws to move these out of your way. And so that you can get your desoldering gun and soldering iron in to replace the caps. I can do it, but it's a pain in the butt, so we'll do it. And then also what I noticed is the controls, I mean, these things are really hard to turn. So those all need cleaning. And we'll have to go through there. Even the balance is pretty tight. Volume isn't too bad because it gets used a lot. Oh, sorry, volume. But the other ones, you know, a lot of times they just get set. They don't get used. They get solid, especially if they're in a shop. A lot of dust, moisture, smoking, junk like that. So we'll have to go through those two. All right, trying to get the best view possible for you. So what I have, we're using the System 1 speakers. I have it hooked up to my 300 watt 8 ohm dummy load speakers on the back of that holder. I got some smaller 100 watt ones up here for other projects. Got the scope, which is hooked into the connections of the right channel. I have a meter, don't know if that's going to show up, backlight. To see what our RMS voltage is, I have a 1 kilohertz signal going into the auxiliary input. I think everyone's seen that before. So let's turn the volumes down, turn this on, and let's see what we get. A little garbage there, needs to be cleaned. They're tracking, the right channel is not tracking, or the left channel. Hold on a second here. Yeah, the right channel is tracking a little bit higher. I wonder if the balance control needs cleaned. Like, see how it garbles a little bit? That needs cleaned. Got a little bit movement there on the other controllers. But so let's go until we peak out, start to distort. Right about there, the right channel is distorting a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of gum in there. But we're at 14.74. So let's see what that Comes out to be, this is a 26 watt unit. Let's go to the calculator. Let's run it off 14 times 14 divided by 8. We're getting 24. But we were at 4. Okay, let's just do it the right way. Let's try it again before we had distortion. Right there. That's showing us almost 15. All right, let's just use 14.8. 14.8 times 14.8 divided by 8. 27. So we're getting some pretty good power already. I think the problem he might have had was that it's just really dirty, and maybe when he moved it, something wasn't working right. He said at very low volume, I think it was. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the controls. I want to rebuild that power supply, because that's always really important to rebuild the power supplies. Reset the DC offset. Check our bias, because that could be why we're off between the two. And yeah, so we'll go from there. Okay, I'm showing how the power supply, I can get to the power supply now that I moved these capacitors out of the way. Good thing to look at garage sales, man. People sometimes have just boxes of bags of zip ties and stuff, and I bought one from an estate that had thousands of all different sizes. The gentleman who passed was into remote control airplanes and just had tons and tons, and I got thousands and thousands and some parts for like $5. Anyway, look how dirty those caps are on the bottom. That's just all the dust, smoke, grime getting through there. But yeah, so we're going to get to that power supply. Like I said, most of the, let me turn it here. This is most of your power supply section. I do have the drawings, which we'll look at. I need to mark the caps the correct way. So, oh, something I did see was kind of interesting. I can tell this has been worked on at one time. It says TB. So it looks like it was maybe June of 09, lamps and cleaning controls. So someone's been in here at one time, 13 years ago, almost. Yeah. All right, let me get the drawings up and we'll look at that power supply. Here's the drawing, downloaded the manual onto my laptop here. And you can see the P700 is the main amp and the power supply. The power supply is in this section here. That's what I'm gonna look at. I'm not gonna go through all the things, because I've shown soldering, desoldering, stuff like that. But I will mark my caps so I know which way they came in. I'm gonna replace those caps. I need to look and see if there's some known bad transistors on this unit or not. So make sure before you start working on things that you have the correct schematics. And you can see where we're going to be getting our 35 volts, which will power our filter caps. And I'm sure if I measure the filter caps, that's what they're running at, is about 35, maybe 37. We need to look. All right, I'll be back. Okay, one quick thing also you have to do, there's one capacitor that's underneath the speaker 1, speaker 2. So you have to take the 2 screws out, gently rotate it out of the way to get to that capacitor. Just wanted to show that. Hey, also, I just took out, if you can see, it came out from right here, this 220 at, or it's a 1000 at 16. See the glue? So, you can either, there was another one over here that had glue too, but I got that all off already. But I just want to remind you, get this glue off, because it does get to the parts and it can be corrosive. And I hate laziness. You know, you're there, do the job. It's like at work, I got so many people that can't finish a job by picking up or doing the right thing, but we're going to get that glue cleaned up. So you should also, if you ever have it on there, acetone works best. I'm back here again. So I was redoing the caps and I wanted to set the voltage on the power supply. I turned it on, and that resistor right there started smoking. So I shut it off right away. I'm like, all right, what did I do? So bonehead move here. C718, I put in backwards. I had the negative down, the positive up. So voltage, what wasn't supposed to be there, went to that resistor there. So now here's the thing. You can see that's an orange, and I'm not sure what the last one was because it's already colored in. So you go, so I think it's just a 33 ohm, right? Orange is 3. And then I go to the drawing, I can see exactly how that path went. C718, direct path to resistor 766. And it says it's a 33 ohm resistor. But you go to the drawings, or to the parts list, way back down here. This is where things sometimes get mumbled, jumbled, confused. Tuner board, phono amp and selector board. That's not what we want. Main power supply, right, board? We go through the transistors. R766 on here says it's 150 ohm. So, yep, the 33 up there, but 150 here. And on the drawing it says a 33. Anyway, I'm gonna replace it with what it has and give it another shot. But anyways, people make mistakes, and I did a mistake by putting that in backwards. So I replaced it also. I didn't use the same one, I replaced it. At the power supply now, it tells us to connect the ground to J715 and the positive to J708. We should be at 35 volts. We're at 34.97, so I'm not going to mess with it. So we know the power supply is working well. I replaced that resistor. I didn't have any 33 ohms, so I'm going to order some, but I had the 150 ohm. So I put the 150 ohm, which the parts supply, the parts description said to use. I'm going to take a bunch of measurements, and then I'm also going to get the 33, and I'll do measurements there to see what how much of a difference it does make on the drawdown. Okay, I'm going to do some testing. I did not show setting the amplifier part, but you can read it in the manual where it tells you to hook up, set to 18.8, and then you'll do the next set down to 0, and then you flop it for the other side. So that's what you do for that. I was just trying to hurry up a little bit. And then, so now I have it set up. Let's get up where you can see stuff. What all can you see? You can see the scope. Yeah, I'll move the thing around a little bit. Let me cut some light there. So again, I'm hooked up to the aux with 1K signal. Speakers are hooked up to the dummy resistors. I've got a true RMS meter hooked up, and we have our scope hooked up. Let's put some power on. Nothing smoking, which is nice. That was a nice boo-boo. And all right, I'm gonna set the aux. I have the volume control right here, and let's see what we get. Yeah, those are tracking so much better. We're already at 10. 14.8. Right there's a little bit of distortion. Yeah. Get a little distortion on the bottom end of the left channel on the negative side. But yeah, I think she's for what he wanted, just a good receiver for the shop. It's putting out the proper wattage. And I'm going to call him and see if he wants me to go any further. You know, some people want total restores. Some people want, you know, a lot of stuff done. Some people like, hey, it's going out of the shop. It's a shop receiver. Make it so it works and it sounds good, which this one will. And I think we'll be good there. So there might be some more. There might not. If there is, you'll see it. If not, I'm going to say thanks for watching. Drop your comments. Any info you might have, too, to help me out. I'm always liking to learn. Just let me know, or if you have a comment about something that you want me to go over with you, let me know. All right, you all take care and enjoy the music.